Hey guys, this is Adam Carswell, and today I'm joined by Olivia Crane. Olivia is the fo-
Hello.
hey, hey. Olivia is the founder of Amplified Social. She helps small businesses or small business owners grow their business through social media. She was born and raised here in Newfoundland, Canada, in Bay Roberts. Went to Memorial University and now lives in good old downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. It's the first time in a while I think we've had a Newfie here on the show. So grateful for that, Olivia. Happy to have you here. Really excited for the conversation today because your background there's so many people that I feel like have even been on this show that could benefit from what you're doing. But I'll just pause here and flip it back to you to just say hello and warm us up for what we're getting into today.
That's super flattering. When we were chatting there at the beginning, there's definitely, something to be said about the whole marketing piece and social media marketing, but you've had such fantastic, incredible people as guests on this podcast. So thanks for having me. And I'm excited for our chat too.
Absolutely. So, guys, Olivia and I want to say we first connected, first met. We actually I don't even think we met face to face. It was just like text and email, working on some marketing projects here in St. John's. And I think I was following you on Instagram or something. And I don't remember where the bridge was actually built. Maybe it's this light that I'm using now that I bought off of
I
you.
actually think it might have been.
The studio here at our Dream Chasers Productions has been improved by a studio light that I bought from Olivia. But anyways, we connected, found out that she was in this social media space, which continues to grow. People, I feel like, people have been talking about the power of social media for like the past 10, 15 years now, but it's still a hot topic and still, it's like an industry that just keeps evolving. So it's going to be a hot topic for a while. And looking at the body of work that you've had and seeing the projects you've done here in St. John's and just other places, the lives that you touch, ladies and gentlemen, this lady knows, Olivia knows what she's doing. So we're in for a real treat today. One more time,
Thank
just
you.
fill in any of the blanks on any of the comments I just made.
Sure, sounds good. No, I love what you said about like social media being a hot topic for a long time. And just one thing that popped into my mind is it will be a hot topic for a long time because there are so many people nowadays, especially in 2020, that are starting side hustles or wanting to start a business. And especially just seeing things online and understanding, that entrepreneurial driven activities can create more freedom in your life. I think there's so many more, like being an entrepreneur right now is like a hot thing to do. I just feel like everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, everyone wants to own their own business. So whether it's a side hustle or something that you've been dreaming of doing a long, long time, social media is going to support that. The issue with it is a lot of times social media is overlooked because since 2007, since Facebook became a thing, and before then, MySpace or whatever you were on, we've been using social media for, half of our lives or more, depending on what age you are. But it's overlooked because you're using it and you think you know what you're doing. But when it comes to the marketing piece of it, there's actually so much to be learned and so many techniques and strategies that you can use to just help you amplify your business through those things.
Absolutely. And so with that statement, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to step into the next level chamber. Here we go. Amplifying your social media presence. That is the name of today's conversation. Let's say that one more time. Amplifying your social media presence. We're playing on words here because we're speaking to the boss of Amplified Social. But this is how we're putting it. We are going to get this message hopefully amplified today as well. So starting from square one, and this is something we kind of talked about before today's call, is in the world of social media, a lot of individuals don't realize how much content and how much potential they're sitting on as far as growing their business from square one. I think a lot of people are like, oh man, I don't even know where to get started. What should I do? And it sounds
Mhm.
like what you found in communicating with your clients is like, hey, look, actually you have like you can get this going right here, right now. You maybe just didn't realize it. So kind of talk about like that initiation process and opening people's minds to what they can do with their business.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, when it comes to social media marketing, and when people approach me initially, it's usually because they want help, obviously, with their social media. I focus mainly on Instagram, so I get a lot of messages on there. Facebook's, pretty good too. But a lot of people come to me saying, I don't know what to post, or I just need help with my social media. And I can dig deeper to the bottom of that, but I really know what they mean. They're struggling with consistency. They don't know what to post, and what they're posting is not turning into sales. So they're coming to me saying, I need help with social media. What a lot of people don't realize is once we get on our calls and once we start getting going with the system is a lot of it is not necessarily your social media and what you're doing on there. It's like the core of your business. Like it's knowing your business, it's knowing what your business strategy is. Another mistake that I see people make is thinking that social media is going to solve all your problems. It's not. Social media is a fantastic, wonderful support for your business, but it is not your business. You are your business, your products and your services are your business. So you definitely need to clarify that and create a strategy for those things. And as soon as you do that, social media is going to come a lot more easy to you, and it's going to be a lot better for you to actually promote your products and services on there and serve your audiences as well.
Yeah, and to zone in on that word you used there is clarity. I think that's what a lot of us, even myself, you kind of got me sold. Guys, we're going to do a quick plug here. Instagram.com/amplified social. If you go to Olivia's bio, there's a link right there to get started for free with a content planner. Instagram.com/amplified social. But it sounds like that's one of the first tools that, thankfully, as a very smart business owner yourself now, you provide that for free to your potential clients. Can you talk to us a little bit about what happens if we go one more time here to Instagram.com/amplified social and we click on that link? What are we going to get out of the gate?
So actually rewinding, if you go to my Instagram profile at Amplified Social, you're going to see a lot of social media tips, tricks, hacks, and some business growth hacks and things like that too. A little bit about my journey and my story and kind of where I came to where I am today. So follow me on there just for general social media tips, and then click the link in my bio for the weekly content planner. And what that's going to do is help you to just plan out your week. When you're stuck for content, the absolute worst thing you can do is leave your content for the last minute. I find that myself, and I sometimes still struggle with that. But if you have your content planned beforehand and you kind of know what direction that you're going in, then your content's going to be a lot easier to actually push out. It's going to be a lot more meaningful to push out, because the other side of it too is, you're probably used to, if you're a new business owner starting, you're used to uploading a quick picture of your dog or your kids or your Christmas tree that you just decorated, and it's very on the fly. When it comes to your business, it can no longer be on the fly because the pieces of the puzzle have to fit together. So there's different types of content that you can produce and that you can make that are actually going to lead your potential customers and clients through the sales cycle. So the sales cycle being kind of like a circle or a piece in the puzzle, whatever you want to kind of call it, to conversion, to actually getting that customer or client to actually make a purchase decision. So that little weekly content planner that's in the link in my bio is going to help you to begin to know how to put those pieces of the puzzle together by clarifying, again, going back to that, clarifying what your business goals are, what your strategy is, and what you're actually trying to accomplish with that. So definitely check that out.
Love it. And this is another thing where I feel like it's been a trend in the business world for the past 10 years. A lot of people are saying like, hey, if you're a millennial, or now what's after millennial, I don't even know. But like that was
Gen Z, I think.
Gen Z. Yeah. If you're Gen Z,
Yeah.
if you're millennial, like your skill set is more than likely already going to have some kind of background in social media. So one way you can add tons of value to someone older than you or looking for that experience is to become focused in this sector. And just look at where you're at and what you're doing. And I've had conversations with like college students, for example, and like, how can I work with a CEO of a company, or like, I don't know, just someone who's in a position where you want to be, how can you work with them? Then I still look at this social media opportunity that still is just as golden now, as I keep saying, as it was 10 years ago. What's the advice for someone who's in college, we'll say at MUN here in St. John's, who wants to start working with business owners and social media? Like, how would you do it if you had to start from square one?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I absolutely love that question. So I think the biggest thing, like you're so right when it comes to like, especially like Gen Z, the people like that are like 20 right now, like in university, are so versed like in social media, and you're able to very easily actually create the content. So like for me, even like I'm on TikTok, but I know I've created a few, but like I wouldn't know how to like do transitions or put all that stuff together. It would take me hours to like figure it out. Could I go and figure it out? Yes, because as a millennial, we can figure out technology, but it probably is coming a little bit more naturally to people who are a generation beneath us or behind us. So while you guys definitely excel and succeed in that content creation piece, what I would recommend is understanding the strategy behind it, because it's one thing to be able to create a beautiful, trendy looking piece of content, but if it doesn't have the structure behind it that you need to actually again move people through the sales cycle, move people through the marketing journey, then it's going to fall flat and it's not going to produce sales. You may have one element in there, one or two elements that are going to help to move people along, but ultimately you need that full wheel and that full puzzle to really be able to grow and scale a business. So my advice is just to learn the types of content, the pieces of content, the types of things that are actually contributing to profit and revenue versus coming in and saying, I can manage your social media. And that's another topic too, because that's also something that you can do. Like if you have someone, that's actually what I kind of used to do, is social media management, where I was just creating and then pushing out the content. And I wasn't really a part of the strategy. I was kind of directed by the owner of the business to what the strategy was. But now what I do as a social media coach is I actually work one-on-one with the owner to create the strategy, and then I help them push it out that way. So, there's so many steps in like a marketing hierarchy, I guess you would call it. Like there's so many different roles and positions. That's why huge companies have huge teams of people to do this. It's another thing, if you're just one person, yeah, you can like learn and do so many things, but you cannot wear every single hat that is a marketing plan. Like I focus on Instagram now, and yeah, I do some other platforms, but I'm not an expert in those platforms. Like I would say more so I'm super comfortable with Instagram. I know the ins and outs of Instagram. And then I moved to another platform and I'm like, dude, this is different. So it's you can't just do everything. So focus on a few things that can really help to make a business successful and just run with that.
I think you hit it right there. That's what I'm going to say was the gold nugget for anyone who wants to get started. Because when I think of, oh, I'll manage your social media, if you're taking on every single account that a company has, that's a lot more work than it sounds. And for you, you found success in going, okay, I know Instagram. I'm going to focus on Instagram. I'm going to grow. You know how to kind of get involved with the other platforms, but like Instagram is your niche, your main focus.
Yeah.
From there you can branch out. So I guess just to validate, would that be your advice, is like, if you're getting started in this and you want to become the next Olivia Crane, pick your one platform to start with?
Yeah, I would say definitely that, but also again, like I think the strategy of things can definitely like cross over to different platforms. And yeah, focus on one thing for sure, but there's definitely, the one thing for me I think would just be like being like versed in marketing versus like social media, like versus content creation. So, but yeah, and again, you can wear so many hats, and picking like one of those hats for sure is going to be like a skyrocket to success.
Cool. Love it. All right. Well, one more plug here, guys. Instagram.com/amplified social. Go ahead and click the link in the bio and start going down Olivia's, her what's the word? Funnel, right? Her funnel.
Yes.
We're all about transparency here. But I mean, I'm looking forward to checking that out. Free content planner. Now for our older listeners, we'll say millennials, and now help me out. What's after
Oh
millennials?
gosh, we're old.
Is it Gen
Boomers?
X? What is it? Baby boomers? Yeah, we get some
Is
boomers.
it boomers after all?
Is that what's after millennials? Is boomer? There's one more in there. Gen X, maybe.
Is there one more? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
know anyone that knows me is going to be laughing like, dude, how do you not know the generations? But um,
Well, they'll have to laugh at me too.
so anyways, I'm shifting here though, because those are going to be more of our business owners listening, and they are looking to take it to the next level with social media. Talk, just give us like, I guess, some examples of clients that you're working with, and how you've seen them grow using some of these strategies, and how someone today could go and apply those same strategies to start growing their business today as well.
Yeah, for sure. So like this is that's the bread and butter of my business, is working with clients that own bigger businesses that need someone to support them on social media activity. I think if you're looking to outsource social media or get started on social media as a business owner, don't try and do it yourself. Leave it to someone who has some knowledge behind what the strategies and techniques are going to be. Actually, and that being said, and I don't want to backtrack on what I said, but oftentimes like, business owners that are in those older generations, they don't try and do it themselves, and then they end up having a bunch of anxiety or fear of missing out that they're not on there. So just consult with someone that can help you out, just getting a presence on social media. Oftentimes it's just simply having a page that's being consistently updated, especially if you're already an established business. That's like one way to do it. If you're looking to like grow your business and need some help with like marketing and social media, again, I would like just go back to, what are your business goals? What are you trying to accomplish? Because again, there's so much stuff that you can do. So focusing on one thing and focusing on a goal that you can accomplish, and then working with someone who knows how to achieve that through social media marketing is going to be the best way to do it, rather than coming at someone and being like, you know, can you help us with social media? We don't know what we're doing. We want this. Or oftentimes I don't know anyway. And so you can kind of walk them through that. But if you do know or you don't know, it doesn't matter. Someone's going to be able to consult you on it, and focusing on like one thing at a time, because there's just so many like objectives that you can have. But the more you can narrow down what the objective is and then focus on that one thing, the more successful your social media content is going to be. So if it's like, say if you're like a restaurant, for example, and like as simple as this, you're a restaurant that wants to increase their lunchtime traffic. Like that would be a more specific goal than saying we need more profit. Like we need more revenue in here. Like let's pick a time of the day that we want more people in, or we want more Friday night reservations. What can we do for that? So there's, with any business, there's a lot of things that you could start to narrow down, and then you can build on that from there. So once you get that done and then you can start to automate things and then move to the next goal.
Yeah, man, I love that, because the recurring theme that we're seeing now, one from the example that you gave on how learning how to get into this business and now working with clients, it's actually very similar. It's you have to be definitive. You got to
Mhm.
have a definition of the direction you want to go, because one, it's going to help you, and two, it's going to help an individual like Olivia or someone who's going to be working with you get you there faster. And so Aaron, our show notes guy, and we love Aaron Eiler, our Dream Chasers intern. We hope to boost his presence up here on the show moving forward. But Aaron, I know you're doing the show notes right now. Please make a highlight on the power of zoning in on the details and the niche. I know you'll put it in good words. Cool. So one more question here, and I'm just going to kind of think of this one up on the spot. But I like use that example with restaurants. So because that is definitely an industry that is looking to evolve right now with everything that's going on. You
Mhm.
know that my background is a little bit more on the commercial real estate side, and
Mhm.
although and I could be wrong, although you might, I don't know how many commercial real estate people you've worked with, but I feel like there's just these like fundamental principles that we've covered already today. What's something that you've seen fundamentally that it can apply to any business owner? Um, just yeah, give us some more fundamentals is what I'm asking.
Like some tidbit of information. Um, oh gosh. That's why I work with people one on one too, is because every business is different. Every business is different. And every time I talk to a business owner, they're always inspirational. That's like first and foremost. Every business owner I've ever met is always inspirational. Like I always learn something from them. But two, they're always all over the place. Always all over the place. So every business owner is different in the fact that they have different goals, they have a different business, they have different markets and things like that. But I guess, to answer your question, all of those things would be a fundamental. Like, what is your market? Like, bottom line, who are you trying to target? Like taking restaurant for another example, if you're like a trendy hip restaurant that's, trying to appeal to like young professionals or whatever, then your marketing is going to go around that, and it's not going to go around every single little thing that you can get people in here. And that's, like, I feel like in Newfoundland that our market is so small that oftentimes businesses get caught up with having to um, rein everybody in at the same time because our market is so small. And I think that's like one takeaway for everybody, like not only in Newfoundland, but wherever. There's always going to be more than enough people in your niche and your market. If you have a good niche, there's going to be more than enough people to be able to serve you, and there's going to be more than enough to go around. So don't be afraid to narrow down your market. Don't be afraid to narrow down your targeting. Don't be afraid to exclude people in your marketing. You know, when I first started with Amplified, in the second phase of Amplified back in March or the beginning of this year, you know, I've continued to narrow down my niche, and I've continued to realize what people that I can most help. And that's been the biggest thing for me. Is I've worked with business owners from like millionaires to somebody that's just starting that has no money in the bank. And what I find I like to work with most is, even though the millionaires or the very successful people have lots of money to pay, I can help the people who are just starting the most. And so when I think about my niche and who I can most help, it's those types of people. And so I'm not trying to appeal to all the really successful people. I'm actually trying to appeal to the people who are just getting started. And believe me, there's like more than enough people to be able to serve that. And there's also more than enough people that somebody else could come into that niche as well. And there's tons of people in that niche and do very, very well for years and years and years and years to come. So I think a lot of business owners have the fear of, oh, I don't want to exclude someone, or I want to attract everybody. Trying to attract everyone is the right way to attract nobody.
Mm.
So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, you've identified who you're called to serve, and that's another powerful piece that, as far as just following patterns of successful individuals, it's like once you identify who you're called to serve, which for you kind of just shared right there is the not necessarily the super wealthy ones, but the ones that are bootstrapping, trying to get this thing off the ground. You get the most fulfillment out of that. And I don't know, it's just cool to see it come to life, because I've been, watching you for the past year, and it's a great story, guys. So one more time, go ahead and follow Olivia. We're probably gonna say this at the end of the interview too, but Instagram.com/amplified social. Okay, cool. So now I'm sure we have some listeners that would want to work with you moving forward. And I know you have a full plate because you've identified your niche and you know who you're called to serve.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good problem to have. But what's like, real quick, what's an alternative to, like, they can't work with you right now, to just get plugged in and take that next step?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I'll like start promoting myself now. So while I do have a full plate of contracted clients, I am still taking clients into my 5-week social suite program, which is a chance to work with me one-on-one, get tools and resources, and we'll work together to amplify your business, get those, business woes clarified, get some strategy down, and really be able to help you create compelling content that actually converts. So that is one way that you can work with me. And then the second way is, I just finished up a boot camp program. I ran my first boot camp back in October, November. It's a 30-day program where basically it's like a crash course in a group setting. It's kind of like the social suite. It's called the social suite boot camp, where you get the same tools and resources, but again, it's in a group setting. So if you're not ready for like a one-on-one program, a one-on-one, like really narrowed down, targeted in, like we're going to do this thing, then the boot camp would be a really good place for you if you just want to learn more about social media marketing in general and how to help to grow your business there. So I have another one starting in January, and just follow me on there, and follow me on Amplified Social on Instagram, and you'll be able to get all the information there. I'm actually just working on putting together the program. So it's not even, you're the first people to hear that. So,
All right.
yeah.
Love it. Okay. Well, I gave you a heads up on this in advance, and we're finally here. Olivia, please give a shout out to someone you've never given a shout out to before.
Okay, so I want to give a shout out to my girl, Victoria Batcock, who's actually in the same industry as me. And we've chatted a couple times that, she kind of wants to get into this industry and wants to learn about it. And actually worked with her on a couple of clients now, and she's just been so fantastic. So she used to work with VOCM News. So a very, very fun fact about her. And now she's running her own little social media marketing business called Addled NL. So she's awesome. So definitely go give her a follow.
Love it. What her name and her social plug again was what?
Victoria Batcock, and I think it's at addled, like the Newfoundland word addled, like I'm addled, I'm crooked, I'm in a bad
All right,
mood.
we're going international with the
ADD,
broadcast.
LED.
I need you to spell it out. What is it?
ADDLED.NL, I think.
Okay, addled. That's actually new for me. I hadn't heard that phrase before, so
Oh, really?
I thought
Okay.
I
Well,
thought
now
I had
you
heard them
learned a
all,
new
but
phrase. No, you definitely have not heard them all. There's like a life. I haven't heard them all.
yeah, cool. I'm trying to think. What's the name of the Newfoundland chocolate company? Someplace downtown has like you can go and get all the phrases on like the chocolate bars. Is that the one?
Yeah, Newfoundland Chocolate Company.
Shameless plug, guys. Go to newfoundlandchocolatecompanY.com.
Yeah,
You'll see there's
they
all
have awesome chocolate.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Get some Christmas. Well, actually, let's see. Well, now that I just said Christmas, we're gonna make sure we expedite and get this episode out, especially since you got the thing coming up in January. All right.
Yes, you got to get this out now.
Here we go. Love it. Okay, so Olivia, that is all the time we have for today. Any closing remarks for our listeners?
I don't think so, guys. Go out there and kill your social media marketing.
That's right. Go ahead and amplify it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. Thank you. That was.
Oh, you're
it's
still
fine. No, we're gonna edit this part out. Hey, everyone. No, that was my fault. I misled you. Thank you for joining us today, Olivia.
Oh.
Now I'm going to close this out. Guys, thank you for tuning in to Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future. We will catch you in the next episode. Remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.